Here are the Education Center in England. We are going to explore how this system has developed over the centuries and how in current action. Let's start with a bit of history. The formal education system in England has its roots in medieval school and university institutes like Oxford, founded in uh, 11611 and Cambridge in 1209 are considered the pillars of higher education in the country. However, the public education system began to take shape only in the 19th century when the Education Act of 1811, also known as the Forced Act, made primary education free and compulsory for all children. Over time, England has implemented key reform to improve this educational system, among them the Education Act of 1944 or better active develop mandatory secondary education and divide school into academic and technical categories. In 1980-16, the GCSE exam were introduced, replacing all sub levels or offer a more exclusive and less academic approbation. Finally, in 1988, the national curriculum was implemented to standardize education in state school. How is the education system currently structured? Let's look at in three main states. Primary education for children 5 to 11 in conversion to K-Stage, K-Stage 1 and K-Stage 2. At the end of each stage, student takes that extend to assess their progress. Secondary education for student at 11 or 13.6 convert K-Stage 3 and K-Stage 4. At the end of the stage, a student takes his CSEs with mandatory subjects like English, mathematics, and sciences, along with optional ones. Post 10.6 education for those 10.6 and above. Here they can choose become levels BTECS or vocational training. Levels required for student university admission are complete over 2 years, while BTECS offers practical focus for those seeking a career orange band. Targeting assessor in the system there is combination of national exam and internal assessment. He sees right student from A to He at the end for secondary school a level stand 10.6 start graph from 2A and are centered for university admission. There are SATs in primary and secondary stakes along with regular inspection. The aspect the office for star in education star quality in each school. Finally, less not at the tips school in English. The system includes three main types institutional: state school, free and government fund, including academics with anonymous and managed in curriculum. Independent school, these are private and fund three twin phase and donation, offering great flexibility in curriculum and administration. Special school, the fee for student wide special education network disabilities white way concludes or covered in the English education system. Outside countries to ever to meet the country's education needs from her back at the
Briefly
study.
a look at the educational system in Scotland, which presents important difference compared to other countries such as Mexico. Let's go into details. In Scotland, the school cycle begins between the age of 4 and 5, with children entering preschool or nursery school. Afterwards, they move on to primary education, a stage that extends from the first to seventh grade. Unlike Mexico, where primary school covers the sixth grade, in Scotland this stage extends one more year. The intention is to provide broader preparation in different subjects, preparing students for the next level. Then around the age of 11 to 13, students enter secondary school, a period that in Scotland consists of 3 years. When they start secondary school, it is called the fourth year, a crucial moment since, upon reaching the age of 16, students have the option to decide whether to continue their education. Those who choose to stay must pass exams that are evaluated on a scale of 1 to 7, with 7 being the highest grade. Secondary education culminates in 2 additional years, the 5th and 6th grades. At these levels, students take higher exams, which are more demanding in the 6th year. These exams are essential as they determine entry to university. University in Scotland spans approximately 4 years. During this period, students aspire to reach an hours level, with the highest level known as a first. Then there are sub-levels ranging from 2-1 to 2 and third, with 2-1 being the minimum requirement for an hours degree. From here, students can choose to continue with a postgraduate degree to specialize in a specific field. Those who choose a postgraduate degree other than their bachelor's degree must have a degree that supports their career choice, guaranteeing a solid foundation for this new area of study. We then adopt a structured educational system with clear options for each stage for learning. Thank you for joining us in this informative note on education in Scotland.
Good morning, I'm Ivan, and I will continue with my report on the education system in Northern Ireland. To begin education in this country is mandatory from age 6 to 16. Although children can start with the preschooler program at age 4. This program helps children develop social at faster pace, allowing them to begin primary school at the age 6, which continues in the they are 6 years old. After successfully completing primary school, students to the secondary or post-primary education, which runs from age 12 or 18. This level is divided into the 2 cycles, the junior cycles, an academic program lasting 3 years and concluding with the junior certificate examination, and an optional transition year, regulated by the National Education System. The transition year aims to promote personal, social, educational and vocational development and is entered optional for the student. The senior cycle follows with the 3 years program or 2 years if the student skips the transition year and concludes with the living certificate examination. This qualification is awarded by the Department of Education and Skill in Northern Ireland to the students who have successfully completed the second cycle of secondary education. Finally, there is higher education or university, which is entirely optional for a student. Most institutions require some form of qualification as prerequisites for admission. In this country, there are 3 universities and 2 university colleges, but promote high education, including Queen University Belfast and Ulster University, among others. This concludes my report on fascinating education system on the land. Thank you so much.
We'll be talking about education in Wales. So, the roots of Welsh education go back to the 19th century when education became formalized across the UK. Like other parts of Britain, Wales initially followed a standardized approach set by the British government. However, education in Wales was deeply influenced by its own language, culture, and unique identity, sparking a desire for more autonomy in shaping the educational experience. Decentralization and autonomy change occurred in 1998 with the Government of Wales. This legislation granted Wales the authority to establish its own educational policies, separating it from direct control by the UK structure around 4 purposes, aiming to develop learners who are ambitious, capable and ready to learn throughout their lives, enterprising and creative, able to take on challenges, ethical and informed citizens of Wales and the world, healthy and confident individuals ready to lead fulfilling lives. Rather than focusing solely on traditional subjects, the curriculum for Wales encourages schools to blend academic learning with skill building. It comprises 6 areas of learning and experience, which are expressive arts, health and well-being, humanities, language literacy and communication, mathematics and numeracy, and science and technology. Language and culture in educational Welsh. In education, Welsh language and culture are central to the curriculum, with all students given opportunities to learn Welsh and experience Welsh history, literature, and arts. This bilingual approach aims to strengthen the connection between students and their cultural heritage, promoting pride in the Welsh identity. Looking ahead with this curriculum, Wales aims to future generations with the skills, resilience, and cultural grounding to thrive in a globalized world while staying connected to their Welsh roots. As Wales continues to shape its own educational system, it remains an example of how regional autonomy can drive innovation in public education. Thanks.
Now I will talk about education in the United Kingdom compared to education in Mexico. In both Mexico and the United Kingdom, primary education lasts 6 years. Secondary education in Mexico lasts 3 years, while in the United Kingdom, it is divided in 2 stages, one lasting 3 years and the other 2 years respectively. In Mexico, higher education can last between 4 to 5 years, where in the United Kingdom it usually concludes in 3, although some programs may be longer. In Mexico, the teaching style is more traditional, with an emphasis on memorization and repetitive structures. In contrast, the educational model in the United Kingdom tends to be more flexible, encouraging independent skills, teamwork, and extracurricular activities. In Mexico, the quality of education can vary depending on the region and type of school, public or private. There are areas where education is not accessible, especially in rural zones, and there is so a high dropout rate after secondary school. In the United Kingdom, both public and private schools generally offer a high standard of education, so opportunities tend to be more balanced, and resources do not pose a barrier to students who wish to continue their studies.